It is over.
It's time to let us in. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our TLC prediction show. I knew it wasn't going to be very long before Joe was going to put a mask on live camera because, you know, that's just who I am. Why not put a Fiend mask on live camera for our show tonight? I can tell you it's not staying on very long because it's hot as hell and it muffles everything. So kudos to Bray for wrestling in this thing because, I mean, this is a half mask and I'm dying. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. As always, we've got the fam here tonight. Down below me, down here, is Jeff. Hello, Jeff. To the right of me, well, no, my right over here, that's Jodie, by the way, in case you didn't already know. And then down in the far, I hate cameras, down here, down there is Tazzy. So,
it's a prediction party, baby. Let's go.
It is a prediction. I keep forgetting I have to go left when I want to go right and right when I want to. I hate technology. By the way, this is the Fiend half mask from WWEshop.com. If you would like to get yours, go there and order it. It's actually very cool. It's done very well. It's hot, I can tell you that. But yeah, if you want yours, go to WWEshop.com and get it. Just so I don't get sued by WWE, there you go. I did buy this from WWE.com. So, hello all. We are here to talk about TLC. TLC. And we are here to give our predictions. And I can bet you we're going to spend a lot of time on one particular match. Yeah. I wonder what that
would that be?
I wonder what that might be.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think you guys probably know. So let me say hello to some folks out in the YouTube land or wherever else you are coming to us from. Rusty Shackelford, hello to you, dude. Sapphire, hello to you, Sapphire. Texas Star fan in a coma, hello to you. Jodie's in the chat. How the hell is Jodie in the chat?
A kid?
Jodie's not just gets in the chat, just everywhere. We have
Multi-talented.
Hello, Jen Carter. How are you? We have James Grant. Hello, James Grant. We have who else? We have, my goodness, lots of people talking to one another in the chat over and over again. Oh my goodness. James Chadwick. Hello, James Chadwick. How are you? Hope you are well. We have Sean Rousset. Hello, Sean Rousset. Hope you are doing well tonight. And let's see. Janelle Jackson. Hello, Janelle. Hope you are doing well. Jason Peace. Love the Fiend mask. Thank you, Jason. Hi to all who's hyped for the Inferno. No, we couldn't be hyped for an Inferno match. Are you kidding me? What are you even talking about?
No.
No, there's no way we'd be hyped up for that. Sunny Wolf, hello to you. Shane Loki, hello to you. Big Dan, by the way. Let me tell you a little story about Big Dan. If we get a horror film from Bray Wyatt, Big Dan's got to get some props because Big Dan appeared in like 6 or 7 articles about a possible horror film from Bray Wyatt and Blumhouse Productions. So kudos to you, dude. I mean, that's pretty damn exciting. He put that out there. Bray responded to it only if it's directed by Jason Baker, of course. Jason Baker, who we've interviewed on our channel. And since then, like, this thing blew up. It's been on like all the geek sites. Comicbook.com had it. A bunch of other things, wrestling sites, of course. So kudos to you, dude. That's pretty amazing. Good for you. Super Torin, hello to you. Jesse Callan. The masks ran out at one point because I bought them all up and kept them. All right, so let's get started, shall we? But before we do, this is done because I can't talk out of this anymore. Hold on. I gotta get it. I don't. Wait, man, this is a mess. There we go. All right. I can talk again. Yes. It's a great mask, but yeah, it's really, really hard to leave on for a long period of time. Okay. All right. So let's get started, shall we? Let's dig right in. We have a card to go over. By the way, Brandy says hello to everyone. She is doing well, better than she had been. So she said she might stop in the chat tonight. If not, she's going to try to stop in during tomorrow's show. So again, hoping for the best for Brandy and a speedy recovery to her. So it was good to hear from her as well today. Braun Strowman, Sonny Wolf's mentioning. Yeah. Tazzy just brought it up before we started. God, I hope Braun's not joining Retribution. Good God, Braun, don't join Retribution. It's a career ender. Do not join Retribution. That's all I have to say. I really hope that's not what it is. I hope he's, like we talked about Braun before, I hope he's changing. You know, kind of how we talked about Bray changing him. Maybe this is the next step in his evolution. I hope that's what it is. I really hope that it's not that he's joining Retribution because, good Lord. Big Dan, like Dark Helmet. Yeah, I can't breathe in this thing. Yes. Great quote. Johnny Bates is here. The king of the Princess Arrow is here and looking for a squashing. Jesse said it fits you very well. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. Jeff, let's start off. What match shall we talk about first? This is going to be a fun pay-per-view, I think, for more reasons than one. So
yeah, this is actually going to be a really good pay-per-view, I believe. Overall, I think so. Obviously, we're not going to start with the match. We're not going to start with that one.
You can't start with the big explosion right off the bat. You got to make
we can't start with that. So let's start with this one. The New Day taking on Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin from the Hurt Business.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, look, the Hurt Business and these guys have been going at it for quite some time now. This feud's been going on for a little while. So look, both should be. I mean, this should be a really good match. Both good tag teams. You got to wonder whether or not they're going to shuffle some things around and stick a match on the pre-show. So, you know, I'm kind of thinking maybe this might get put to the pre-show. We'll have to see. But look, anytime we could get a good tag team match in WWE, I'm all for it. So I'm going to go, you know what? I think I'm going Hurt Business here. I think it's time for them to get the titles. And, I mean, look, they've been carrying that show for quite a while. Before Bray got there, it was a lot of the Hurt Business. I mean, a lot of Hurt Business a lot of the time. So they've been doing a good job there. They've been kind of carrying Raw. And, yeah, I think it's time. So I'm going with Hurt Business here. Tazzy. Shoot it over to the far right corner of the screen. I feel like the MC in Hollywood Squares.
I know, right? That's crazy.
B-Tazzy.
That's hilarious. Well, I would have loved to got this match now instead of 3 times before, but we get what we can get, right? So I technically will do. It's the basically is building up to just go ahead and give Hurt Business the win. That's basically what they're building up to. How many times they're going to lose? So I think it's time because I think it's perfect for somebody new to come into the tag team title picture and then have maybe the dude they tried to come back and try to beat them, which they probably won't. They're probably a different tag team. I don't know where any other tag team is on Raw. So, but we'll find out. Remember, we're getting changes, so we'll see. We'll see soon.
All right, let me go to the middle center square. Jodie Gilly up above. Jodie Gilly.
I'm gonna agree. I think that it's time for Hurt Business to win something. So I think they're gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just that time. I mean, they've been going back and forth. New Day have had the title for a long time. I mean, these guys are a celebrated tag team. They've more than proven themselves over the years. So I would agree. Let's see. Some people in the chat are kind of agreeing with us too, saying that Hurt Business. What about you, Jeff, in the lower center square? There he is.
Listen, I wish I had my prop for this, but I had someone gift me a Hurt Business shirt for Christmas.
Nice.
And it is amazing. And I will probably go get it at some point during this just so I can show it off. I was going to wear it tomorrow, but it's such a freaking awesome shirt. But I've got Hurt Business all day, every day. I think it's time. And don't be surprised if we get a turn from Woods. Just put that out there. Throwing it out there.
Good call.
That would be kind of cool. Xavier Woods joined in the Hurt Business.
Is that some insider info there, Jeff?
I can't confirm nor deny.
The way your week is going, I can see it.
Nice. There you go. We could have one prize right there. That would definitely be something. I mean, if the New Day are going to lose, maybe they'd be best off in splitting them up a little bit. I mean, Kofi could go on a singles. Go and become a singles guy. And, he excelled at that before, obviously, when he won the title. So maybe they want to get him back in the singles side of action. And if those two feud, Xavier goes with the Hurt Business. And then, that's a great shout. And maybe it is a little insider information. We'll see. Look at that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Very nice. The fifth says James Cedric. Yes. That would be cool. All right. What are you guys thinking? Gamer Guy says TLC. Janelle Jackson says if Xavier Woods turns heel, do you mean Kofi Kingston? He's going to be going after Xavier Woods? It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, when you have a split like that, that's usually what happens. You're going to start a feud usually. And
you honestly need and I don't even want to say this because it sounds almost disrespectful, but it's not. But the one thing that Raw is missing right now is a mid-card feud. I don't even consider Retribution and what they're doing with Ricochet a mid-card feud. This would be a mid-card feud. Xavier and Kofi would be that next feud that they kind of need to elevate some things with the rest of the card because it's so top-heavy right now. You've got Drew, you've got The Fiend, you've got Randy Orton, you've got AJ Styles, and then Retribution.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Retribution is like the bottom of the barrel. So, yes, I agree. It's a very large drop-off to go down to Retribution. So, yeah. All right, yeah. So there you go. We'll see where that match ends up. We'll see if it ends up maybe on a pre-show, but we'll see. But either way, I think it's going to be a good match. And like I said, I love when you get tag teams on WWE. They need to do more of that, in my opinion. So never a bad thing when they do tag team stuff there. So Jason Peace, by the way, earlier in the show, thank you so much for the kind donation. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Jesse Callan says, I have arrived. Coaster Maniacs Gaming. Thank you very much for the kind donation. Really appreciate that as well. Proud of you guys. Much love. Hope you guys have a happy holidays. Yeah, happy holidays to you and yours as well. All right, so let's go to Hayden Garrett is here. Hello, Hayden. How are you tonight? Hope you are doing well. Eric Buchanan, the Goldberg guy, is in the chat as well. Hope you are well as well. Edwin Perea, hello to you. How are you? What are your thoughts on Sasha Banks appearing on The Mandalorian? Well, The Mandalorian, dude, I had tears in my eyes yesterday. I literally did. Geek stuff.
That's the coolest shirt ever.
Look how gold that shirt is.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Is that like gold and shiny?
Yeah, look at the gold. Yes. That's awesome. Yes. That's awesome. But yeah, I could talk about The Mandalorian for tons and tons of time, especially after. Okay, so Coaster again, dude. What are you doing? Dude, what are you doing? Coaster, it's Christmas time, dude. What are you doing? Oh man!
Wow,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow! Holy cow, man! Appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope your gaming channel is going well. I hope you are. I hope you're doing well there, man. All the good wishes to you and yours as well. Sapphire Jeff, give me the shirt.
Just like that.
That is a cool. Yeah, I remember when we saw that, and Jeff was saying, "Man, I got to get me one of those. I got to get me one of those." There you go.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is awesome. Eric says, Joe, Jeff, Jodie, and Tazzy. Now that I'm here, this stream is now officially legendary. Good God, dude. Oh, good God. Good God. Oh, boy. My goodness gracious. Okay. With that, what's our next match, Jeff?
All right. So from that legendary comment,
Right.
we're going to go to the Women's Tag Team Championship match, and we've got a bit of a mystery going into this one. So, guys, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, you know what? This is always good to add a little mystery and a little flavor to the show. And of course, we saw the whole thing with Lana happen, and I've been hearing a lot of different opinions about that. Like they were talking about on a couple of wrestling shows I listened to, Busted Open being one of them. They were talking about her. Like, you know, you go through table after 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 table at 9, I think. And then you are now supposedly, quote unquote, hurt. And you can't go. So they're saying, like, what's the payoff here? Like, you know, is she going to miraculously appear at the match? So some people are still saying it's going to be her, but she's going to just miraculously appear there. Now, that's not my opinion. My opinion is, for whatever reason, they took her out, and I don't know why. But for whatever reason, my guess on this, and I think a lot of people are going to guess on who this partner is going to be. Who just said Eva Marie? Someone in the chat said Eva Marie. It's a possibility. But my guess is Charlotte. Charlotte's ready to come back. And look, we, you know, as we talked, Jeff and I talked about Raw in the podcast and how it's kind of meh, other than Bray. They need a kick in the women's division. They really do. Shayna's great. Nia is great, but they need a kick in the women's division. And what better way to do it than bring Charlotte? And I think that Charlotte comes back, and I think she will be Asuka's partner. She will come back as a face. And she can play both roles. She, you know, you can plug her into both roles. She's good, and she can do either one, heel or face. But I think she becomes the mystery partner here. So we'll see. Let's see what everybody else thinks. Let's go to Jodie first. Jodie, what are you thinking here? And I'm gonna say that. I'm sorry. Whoever is the partner, I think Asuka, and whoever her partner wins. So let's go to Jodie. What are you thinking?
I love Asuka. I don't care who they pair her with. I would like her to be Asuka 2 belts. But I do agree. I think it's going to be Charlotte. And if it is Charlotte, I think that's even more likely that it'll be Asuka and her winning.
Yeah.
I love Asuka. So give her all the belts.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Asuka's great. All right, Jeff, man, what are you thinking? Who do you think is the mystery partner?
What's the best way to create a feud that makes the women's division a little more relevant on Raw? You have Ronda Rousey come back and take on Shayna Baszler, and you create that MMA headbutting dynamic, and that's the way you go. There have been photos and videos out there of Ronda training in the ring again, and I'd love to see Charlotte back, but I think this is the spot for Ronda to make her appearance because, hey, they need something big right now. And they need to be backing up the Brinks trucks and everything else and getting whoever they can out there. And I think this is a spot for Ronda Rousey to make her long-awaited return.
Good call. Yeah, good call. And obviously I like the feuds that you thought of. So, yeah, good call. It certainly would be. I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why not wait for the Rumble? But you know what? You don't really have room to wait anymore. And we talked about that. If you want to hear that whole discussion, go back to our podcast from Thursday and you'll find out why. Tazzy, tell us what you think, who's going to win, and who is the mystery partner.
Dude, I don't know what to do after that. Really? Really come up with Ronda? Wow. That just... But what really makes sense, what would make sense would be Shane. Will be because they've been tag team champs before. And it's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Charlotte probably be more the best bet because she's ready to go. You got to use her. And if you want to change for all, here you go. This is your chance. Show them on pay-per-view because the next night it's Raw where you're supposed to change. And I do got a lot of theories about all the Raw matches for tonight. But yeah, I think it's going to be Charlotte.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And who do you think wins?
Oh, my bad. It's got to be Asuka and Charlotte. It has to be. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, so here's the thing. Us and probably almost everybody in our chat are going to be really, really disappointed if it ends up being Lana. If Lana comes strolling out at the end. So, yeah, poor Lana. I mean, they're really trying. But, these shows that I had listened to and the articles I read said that they're really trying to build Lana up as a face. And what better way than to build her up that way is to have her come back from a big injury or something like that somewhere down the road. So maybe that's what this is all about. We'll see. But yeah, I think we're all in agreement. So, either way, we win. I mean, if it's Ronda Rousey, awesome. If it's Charlotte, cool. We haven't seen her in so long. Either way, it's a win for WWE because they get their women's division that much better. Especially on Raw, and Raw needs it. So, all right. Marcus Ryan says, "Watch it be Dana Brooke." Oh, good Lord, yeah. I mean,
don't say that.
It could be Dana Brooke. It could, yeah. I mean, it could be. It could be. Wouldn't be a shocker if it was, but it could be. Why not? Charlotte Flair for the Royal. Save Charlotte for the Royal Rumble. Yeah, Janelle, that's a good point. But. Like we were saying, the Rumble is a month and a half away, or a month and a week or so away. And, you're getting all this heat on these other companies right now. I don't know that I want to put it off. When TLC was the only game in town in December and there's nothing else really going on, okay, you can wait. But I don't know. I think it's time to start pulling out the stops. Rhea Ripley says James Chadwick. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Rhea. I'm fine with that. Butterspark says, but is Lana put her through all the tables at the arena? Good Lord, dude. All right. What is our next matchup? Interesting.
All right. So this one should be a pretty good one, actually. Sasha Banks against Carmella.
Sasha Banks and Carmella. Yeah, of course. We've seen the last 2 weeks. Carmella's certainly getting the better of Sasha Banks. As you guys mentioned, Sasha is incredibly popular right now, especially outside of the wrestling world with the Mandalorian and the stuff she's been doing there. This has been. They're warming this up. Where they're really having Carmella be, and now who's that? What's up with the sidekick? Who's her sidekick that keeps getting involved in the damn matches all the time now? Like, who's this dude? He comes in, he's wearing those like pants and the dress pants, the skinny pants, and no socks. Like, who is this dude? Like coming out of nowhere, involved in this stuff. So I don't know who this guy is, but I want Sasha to beat him up. So if that's what they went for, kudos, because I want to see him get beat up more than Carmella. Obviously, Sasha's not losing the belt. Not now. Especially, again, with her getting all of the, all the love from the Mandalorian and stuff like that. WWE is going to capitalize on that. And I don't think that Carmella is the opponent that's going to take that belt away from her. Not. I think it'll be a good match. Carmella is really trying to establish herself as a new personality and establish herself as a big time heel. So, and she's done it. She's done it a little bit of a different way, but people are booing the hell out of her, so that's always a great sign. I think it's going to be. I think this might surprise some people. I think this is going to be a good match, but I think Sasha comes out on top in this one. So, Tazzy, what are you thinking?
Well, where do we start with this? First of all, kudos to Carmella for coming in here, embracing the heel in her, and had this new character. Great entrance. Everything is point on right now. It's perfect. Now, as for the match is gonna be great. I have a feeling it's gonna be great. It's gonna even be better than the match they had a couple of weeks ago. What we going towards? Sasha has the title. The War Rumble is coming. Pretty sure I have the big feeling who's going to win the Rumble. And when we're looking at WrestleMania, we're looking at a match in the making, big match. You guys know where I'm going with this. Even though she lost yesterday, don't make a difference. It happens. It's a bump in the road. So what I'm looking towards right now, we're looking at a Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. That's look like the goal they're going towards. Is it going to happen? We're going to see. But this look like you can tell like around this time of the year that you can see who they're pushing, and more like when they push, that's probably the person that's going to win the Rumble. Things might change like last year, but that's more likely what they are going towards is that clash for WrestleMania. That's my opinion on that.
I mean, good call. I would love that. I would love that. I mean, I think it's safe to say we all love Bianca Belair. Yeah, I would absolutely love that. Jodie, what do you think here? Who do you think wins? And what do you think is going to happen here?
Oh, I think it's going to be a hell of a match. But I think it's too soon to pass the belt on to somebody else. I think Sasha's going to keep it because she's Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Blow my hair for a reason, people. No.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I just don't. I agree. I think it's too early for Sasha to drop that now. Like I said, she's kind of just getting to the pinnacle or at the pinnacle of what she could be doing, and in the limelight for a lot of other reasons. So, Vince, he likes his champions to represent. She certainly is representing the company now, and she could certainly be the hottest person on that roster right now for Vince. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, Jeff, what are you thinking for this one, man?
As much as I like the character change for Carmella, and I think that it's going to give some great results later, I've got Sasha winning simply because right now she needs to have the rocket ship and just soar to the moon because, I mean, freaking Mandalorian. I'm sure a lot of people watched it. You saw what she did in there, and I think she's just going to continue to have her star rise, and WWE would be foolish, which I understand, folks. I understand what I'm saying. But they would be foolish to make a change there right now. So I've got Charlotte.
Yeah, I agree. Rusty Shackelford has to take off. We'll see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your night, my friend. Hope you are doing well. And if we don't see you if we see you Tuesday, if not, happy holidays, of course, to you and yours. And everybody and anybody else that we will not see. We'll get to our schedule, by the way, a little bit later for the week because we are going to have some. Of course, it's Christmas week. We'll have some changes and stuff in the schedule, but we'll get to that a little bit later. All right, what is up next?
All right, guys. So this should be a good one. Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. Who you got?
This one is something because these two guys have been around for a while. And the fact that they've never faced off is something to behold. I mean, especially the fact that they've both been, AJ Styles, one of the best ever. And now Drew is at the top of his game. So the fact that they never, even when Drew had been in before and then kind of left and then came back in again, the fact that they never crossed paths before. So you don't see very often where you have a match between two premier athletes that have never wrestled before. So this is pretty cool. And I think it'll live up to billing. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. And I mean, he's going to give great matches no matter when and Drew again is working at the top of his game right now. I think this is going to be a very technical match between these two guys. And I think, we might see AJ's bodyguard get involved a little bit as he kind of has been the last couple weeks. So I don't know. I mean, some people are thinking Miz is going to come in and interfere. That's a certain possibility. He might try to cash in that Money in the Bank. But I mean, again, they just gave Drew the belt back, so I don't see him losing it now. AJ is a great competitor, and obviously a legend in the business. But I just don't see him taking that belt off of Drew. Not now. So I'm going with Drew McIntyre. But I think this one's going to surprise some people, and it could even be that AJ might have the advantage in much of this match. Jeff, what do you think?
Man, this is a tough one. I mean, I've got Drew winning, but I could also see the Miz cashing in. So I mean, I think Drew wins, but I think we get some type of cash-in attempt. Shenanigans, that's right. I do not think that we get a successful cash-in, though. I think it will be a failed attempt at a cash-in.
Oh, okay. So he's going to lose the briefcase.
I believe so. I think he's going to try and cash in, and I think he's not going to be successful.
Okay. That would be something in itself. You don't see that happen often. So, I mean, this briefcase has been kind of weird anyway, with the whole thing with Otis and everything like that, and then how Miz got it. So it's been a little weird. Yeah, it could be. I mean, we could see a weird ending to the whole thing. All right, Jodie, who wins, and what are you thinking?
I think we're getting some shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, we're definitely getting some shenanigans in that match. I think that, and somebody just said it. I think that Miz will try to cash in, and then he'll change his mind, and then won't do it. He'll back out. But definitely got Drew winning this one. He's on a roll. He's on a high. So, Drew.
Yeah, I think so. I would agree with you. I think it's just too early, too soon for Drew to lose. So I think Drew will win, but I think it's going to be a good match. Steve Walker from Facebook says, "Oh my God, you're all on video." I know. Long time coming, wasn't it?
Steve.
Sorry if we broke any mirrors in your house all of a sudden. Yes, we are in video, but it's good to see you. All right, so Tazzy, what are you thinking for this one?
All right, you guys ready for this? So I teased that I was going to come up with something crazy for today on the after party yesterday. So here we go. I do know about the briefcase. I wanted Drew to win before we start getting all the USA Network stuff and all that about. Now I'm like, what do WWE like? What do the WWE do the best? Push heels. And who's a good heel? AJ Styles. So I really think it could be AJ Styles. And yes, I still think Miz going to try to cash in, but I still think AJ Styles still going to be though. And the other reason why I'll say AJ Styles is going to win, and this is throwing out the box. You guys ready for this? AJ Styles the champion. Who's the NXT champion?
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Interesting, isn't it?
What if Jeff was right on the podcast and saying, "Hey, yeah, you two go ahead and do what you got to do, and we got your blessings, and you have two of your titles in that All-Star show." Just throw it out there.
That's a great call. Conrad has joined us. Hello, Conrad. Conrad asked, "Where's my hat?" Wait, hold on.
Tammy, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Bray Wyatt fedora. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's it's way too small for my big head, but there you go. You got the Bray Wyatt fedora. Now everybody has hats. We're the insiders with hats. You got all the hats. Oh my goodness, Moda is here. Hello, Moda. How are you, dude? Too sweet, says Steve Walker. Yes. That's a great shout, dude, man. I wouldn't have called that. I wouldn't have called that at all with AJ Styles, but yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Why can't AJ win it? It certainly could happen. I mean, if anybody could, it could be AJ Styles, and you're right. I mean, if they want a heel to push, indeed, why not have it be one of the best heels that's in the game in AJ Styles? So, and yeah, man, a fight with someone from NXT. Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, well, yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I think we're all digging it. Very cool. Very cool. We'll see. That would be an interesting result for sure. Interesting result for sure. All right. What is up next, Jeff?
All right. So we go from that one to this one. And as JR said back in the day, business is about to pick up. So this one, guys, my goodness, this one is going to be absolutely insane. And all those other things that we could say, but yeah, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. So you've been watching, if you've been watching it on SmackDown, Kevin Owens got about as big of a heel push as you could possibly get. They wrecked the dude. Just absolutely wrecked the guy. Had him buried under tables and chairs and every other thing you can imagine. And yet,
kind of reminded me of Hell in a Cell and his other Shield partner.
Yeah, he worked his way out and just kind of sat there and said, "You're not going to stop me." I'm going to come at this one from another point of view. Now, I definitely think it's Roman. There's no question Roman's winning the match. There's no question to me Roman's winning the match. This, though, this is my concern. And this is kind of I've said this on the show. I've said this on the podcast. Do I think Roman's doing a great job? Yes. Much, much better character than what he was before. So I agree with that. However, here's my counterpoint. Do you really believe that Kevin Owens can win this match? And I don't think there's pretty much anyone that's going to say yes. If that's the case, who are you going to bring up on that roster on SmackDown that you think can beat Roman Reigns? And if not, you are right back in the same boat you were in before, and it's just reversed. He's a heel now, yes. Is he a spectacular heel? Yes. Is he much more interesting as a heel? Yes. But if you don't believe that Kevin Owens stands a shot in hell at winning this, and I don't think many do, then who's next? Who comes up on that roster now to beat him? Daniel Bryan? I mean, is Daniel Bryan the big underdog? Sure, but that was 5 years ago. Do you really believe Daniel Bryan can beat Roman Reigns? How long are we going to go until we really have have a match with Roman where you think someone can beat him? That's my counterpoint. Roman Reigns wins. Kevin Owens will certainly put up a fight because he always does. And then the thing you got to ask yourself too is, where does KO go? Where does he go after this? Because you come up to the top of the ladder. Now you're going to lose. So where do you go? Does it make him snap? Does he go back and say, you know what? I tried it this way, but now I'm going to go back to being a heel? I don't know. I just don't know. And this is why I'm cautious with this Roman Reigns storyline, because I just don't know that it's believable now that anybody can beat him. I just don't know that it's believable. And are they waiting for Jimmy Uso? Maybe. Maybe Jimmy's going to come back and challenge him. I don't know, but that's my little counterpoint for that. So, Jodie, what do you think? Like I said, I think it's a no-brainer. I think the Roman wins. There's no way that Kevin Owens will win that title.
Oh yeah, no-brainer that Roman wins. And Matt Hendricks just brought up a good point. I totally agree with you, Joe. He's so good as a heel, but there's no believable person on the roster that you think Vince is gonna let them beat his golden boy. And it's very obvious, and to longtime wrestling fans, even newer wrestling fans like me, it gets a little boring. I mean, Bayley had her title for a year and it was great, and then she had it for too long for most fans, and so there's no believable person on the roster that you could see Vince letting them beat Roman. But Matt just said, knowing WWE, it'll be Goldberg.
Oh God! Look, you can hear my little tirade about Goldberg from our podcast a couple nights ago. God, let's hope not. Big Dan says Brock, maybe. I mean, I'm talking just about current roster. Obviously, if they do bring Brock back, then sure. That certainly could be a possibility. Yes. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe he shows up for the Rumble. Who knows? But as of right now, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Tazzy, what are you thinking here?
First, this is when you got a heel that is too good. Way too good. Shout outs to the writers that's been doing the storyline. It's actually really, really good. It's actually so good that I am this close. I'm like, there's a shot. That's how they like. Kevin Owens look like a badass. So I'm like, dude, this look really, really good. Dude, I want Kevin Owens. It's Kevin Owens. That's my boy. But like I said, Roman Reigns is too good as a heel. Where I don't believe. That's where I believe that. I don't believe that. That Kevin Owens
believe that. No.
Right. I believe that Kevin Owens can beat Roman Reigns. So it looks like Roman Reigns is going to be in champion for a little bit longer.
I would. Again, I think we're all kind of coming. And I'm not saying that it's a bad storyline. I'm not. I mean, I like how they're doing it. It's like a mafia storyline to me, and that's that's the kind of flair that I'm getting from it. And that's, like I said, it's perfectly fine. They're doing a great job with it. Roman's playing the Don, and Jey Uso's playing the lackey. So yeah, it's that, and they're doing a great job of it. But what I'm saying is, there comes a point in time where someone has to come into the story of a good mafia story that can take down the Don. Mm-hmm. So that's where they have to come, to get to. And now you're hearing these rumors about, well, maybe it's not going to be The Rock now. And I don't know if The Rock would have done it either. If The Rock came back, he's certainly not going to carry the title. So I think The Rock would have lost to Roman. And so he, if that dude doesn't take him down, who the hell are you going to get that's bigger than The Rock to take down Roman Reigns? And that's the point. So whoever,
and that's when WWE writes themselves into a corner. And I know we've talked about this with, Bray as well. Like those indestructible characters, like Taker, like the Fiend, like Demon Finn Balor, they have to be reserved for those special events, and that keeps it indestructible, but keeps it fresh as well. And when you have someone that's on the show every week that's indestructible, you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
He's great at it, and I love Roman Reigns, but okay. But somebody's going to come and have to beat him eventually. At this point, it's too predictable in terms of, well, we know Roman's running that. Well, we know Roman's winning that. And, we'll be saying that a year from now. Well, we know Roman's winning that. So
Yeah, good point. How long does it go? How long does it go? Notorious Nightmare Switchblade says only person that makes sense is The Rock. He's been the head of the table, so if Roman wants to be number one in the Samoan family, he needs to beat The Rock. And as a Samoan, this storyline makes me proud. Now, dude, look, I mean, hey, and I'm not dissing the storyline. I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's a great storyline for Roman. The family angle that they came up with is fantastic. I just think that, like Jodie said, and I agree with it, that you sometimes can book yourself into corners, and they're really going to have to come up with someone. Who is that person who can take that title away? And you know, he may carry it right up and through WrestleMania, and if that's the case, who are they going to build up to do it? You know, I mean, you look at that SmackDown roster, and who are you thinking that's going to be it? I mean, a lot of people are saying Big E. I don't know. Big E now seems like he's going and having a program with Sami Zayn. So who is it? You know, who is that guy? And I'm just looking at the current roster as it's built and wondering who the guy is. So, yeah. But all right, Jeff, man, what are you thinking here?
All right, story time, folks.
Jeff.
So, oftentimes, especially with the way Roman is being built, you want to equate this to a gangster or a mob boss. And with mob bosses and gangsters, outside forces can't stop them. It's always someone on the inside.
Yep.
So my thoughts are that Jey Uso will try to be a little too helpful in this match. And I think that's going to cause a little bit of a distraction. And as much as I know that people don't want to hear this, I fully believe that Goldberg will get involved. Having said that, I think this leads to KO winning the title. Whoa. And I think we get a triple threat at the Rumble for this belt, in which Roman will win, setting up him and Goldberg at Mania if The Rock can't go. But I think it's an inside job as to what's going to happen, and that's going to be the only thing that can take the belt off of Roman, because like you said, there's no credible threat right now in front of Roman. So what's the best way to do this without making him look weak or beatable? Because I do think that they learned from the incident with the Fiend. That was dumb. So yeah, I know. Sorry. So how do we make this look right, but still get a result that puts another guy over? It's an inside job. That's my opinion, just my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you watch a lot of those kind of movies, and you do see that somebody from the inside gets involved. So it could be. That could be. I think. I mean, Jeff needs to get a job writing stuff. Like we need to get Jeff a job writing wrestling stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, Jeff's on fire. Between all the Impact stuff that he got over the past couple of weeks, and man, I'll tell you, if stuff like this happened. Well, listen, there was an old show many years ago called "You Heard It Here First." So that happened. You all heard it here first. So yeah, there you go. Chris says every time someone says Goldberg, you see a little piece of Jodie die. Yes.
That's true.
That's true. All right. Well, interesting. Very interesting take on it. So we'll see where it goes. We will see where it goes. Big Dan says, guys, Kevin Owens said to Paul Heyman to call him after the match tomorrow at the end of Talking Smack. Heyman turn on Roman and help Owens. I know it's highly unlikely, but one never knows. Heyman looks like just a scared individual, doesn't he? Like Heyman, Paul has always been a slime ball, but he looks like he's just kind of terrified, doesn't he? Like when you see him backstage with Roman, he's just like, and he just stands there with that look on his face, like I'm not saying anything right now. So sometimes scared rats tend to look for help in other directions. So maybe.
Well, and that's why I think Brock could be a really nice angle to this, because Brock is a Heyman guy. So, could you see Paul Heyman turning on Roman if Brock comes back? Brock comes back and challenges Roman. Where's Paul Heyman going to go? They're both his guys.
And Brock is not going to come back happy either way. Whether he even comes back as a heel or a face, it doesn't matter. The fact that Heyman now has his worst mortal enemy on the planet as part of his stable and his main guy right now, there's no way Brock's going to come back happy. So that's going to get ugly really, really quickly. Absolutely. All right, well, that could be something big we might see there too. So I'm sure that is probably going well. I don't know. It's going to be tough to decide who the main event's going to be here. Is it going to be, is it going to be Roman and Kevin? Is it going to be more than likely? You're kind of thinking AJ and Drew. But we'll see. All right, what is next?
All right, so we saved the best for last, obviously. So we've got the Fiend and Randy Orton in a Firefly Inferno match. Someone please explain to me what that is, but either way, I am sold on it and take my money now, WWE, even though I don't have to pay you any more than the subscription fee.
All right. Well, we're going to let Jodie go last because I know Jodie's got a theory. She told us last night, so we'll let Jodie talk last. This one, look, we saw what happened. We saw him put him, the last 2 weeks, the Fiend has gotten the better of Randy. And it's kind of looking like nothing Randy does is going to be good enough. He's attacking Funhouse Bray, locked him in that box. He lit him on fire. Didn't matter. It just looks like there's nothing he could do. So the questions I have are, like Jeff said, what is exactly this going to be? My guess, cinematic match. It will be a cinematic. Now, is it going to be a cinematic match? And Jeff and I could speak to Jeff. Do you remember the match with EC3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the kind of cinematic match I think how this ends up. Whether what happens before that, I have no idea. But if you haven't seen that match with EC3, Tazzy, I don't know whether you saw what EC3 and Bruce. How that ended up, it was like a cinematic match inside of a ring, and I think that's the way this ends up. I think this will end up in a ring. I think it will be a cinematic match. What they're going to do before it, no idea. But it will end up as a cinematic match. So that's first off. Secondly, is Alexa going to show up? If so, do they play that up, that she is indeed the weakness of the Fiend? And if that's the case, we only saw it happen once, and that was the only time she was around when Randy was there. Is this going to be used against him again? He's gotten the better both times, and both times Alexa was not around. If she's there, does Randy go after her? And does he use Alexa against Bray, or does he try to use her against him and it doesn't work this time? Something else may happen. Now, I know C Wrestling did a video of his own talking about whether maybe she is shown as, if it is a funhouse type of match, she comes back with the whole gimmick of wearing the veil, and she appears maybe as the apparition of Abigail. Let's be clear, not Abigail, but as the apparition of Abigail.
Don't start that again.
Does she
got everybody to stop.
Does she come back that way? is Randy going to see a whole bunch of things? I mean, some people are saying, is it going to be another Funhouse match? Is he going to take Randy back in his career, like he started his career, and go back and do it almost like a This Is Your Life Funhouse kind of a thing, and then get him inside the ring with the fire at the end? Man, this is crazy. I don't really know. I do think, and I know a lot of people out there are saying that they're going too fast, that this is going to be done. It could be. I mean, look, he's doing things when he can do them at this point. We all kind of heard that Randy is going to go back with Edge. They're going to go back. It's probably going to happen at WrestleMania. So if Edge comes back, at the Rumble this year, then chances are, whatever's going on with Randy is going to go and take a U-turn and go back to Edge. So is this going to be it between these two? I don't know. It could go into the Rumble, and maybe they have a match at the Rumble yet, and maybe that's where Edge shows up. But I think Bray wins this. I think that I don't, and I love it because I have no earthly clue how it's going to come down, and that to me is awesome. Are we going to see Cult Leader Bray? Are we going to see other Are we going to see other things from the historical thing? Is he going to use the crucifix somehow? Is it, any of this kind of stuff going to be involved? I have no idea, but I can bet that we're probably all going to be marking out by the end of this match. So with that, let me send it over to Tazzy. We'll go to Jeff and we'll end up with Jodie, and Jodie can tell y'all what she thinks is going to be happening in this big event that we have been talking about since Abby's window started. So let's go to Tazzy.
It's funny because I am so invested with this because I saw these guys wrestle live at No Mercy a few years back. That's the first match they did. It's like one of those rivalries that they'll do it, they'll come back to it, and they'll do it, and they'll come back to it. It's like this. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'm gonna let everybody know it's not gonna be over. It's constantly going to be on and on until one of these guys retire, or I hate to say this, and I'm like, I don't want to say this, or one of these guys are dead. Just keep it real with you, in a wrestling term way. But as for this match, if anybody know what a Inferno match is basically you put your opponent on. You guys set your opponent on fire. If you guys want to know how exactly that looks, go back to the WWE Network. Yeah, on WWE Network, I'm helping you out. Go back to the WWE Network and watch those matches. I think the last big one, the last match they had, it wasn't the last match because that was a Ring of Fire. It wasn't really an Inferno match. It was more. It was actually Bray's first ever match, which is funny. Against Kane, and it was pinfall submission. So you didn't have to switch it. The real one was Kane versus MVP, and I ain't gonna tell you what happened. Just say if you have a weak stomach, be careful. Just saying.
Your discretion is advised.
Exactly, which I think we're all about to be on Monday. But as for this match, dude, you could do so many things. It's crazy. I think Joe is right. This will be a cinematic match, and I think there's two matches. That EC3 match is one match, and there's also the NXT matches was the exact same way too. The who was it? Oh, Ciampa and Gargano. That was the same type of match too. I think that's what we're going towards. It's not going to be, even though Michael Cole said it, and I think C. Ressa said this too. The arena is going to be on fire. So now, is it going to be a cinematic in the Thunderdome, or what are we getting? So otherwise, I think for the storyline, just because he's he's trying to I really think it's going to be Bray winning this match, just because the sake of the storyline. But like I said, I don't think this is over. We might come back to this in the summer. It's going to be a wild 2021. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all great points, and they certainly could. And sometimes people get caught up in static things, and they just think that because the storyline is going on, it has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it has to all be together. It doesn't have to be that way. You can let something go for a little bit, come back to it later. There's nothing that says that you can't. So this doesn't have to be over right away. And they could certainly revisit it after the whole Edge thing is done. So yeah, absolutely. All right, Jeff, what are you thinking?
Well, number one, I don't think this is ending by a long shot. I think this is just another chapter in the story. That's what this will be. I do think that it will have cinematic elements. I don't think it'll be a full-on produced thing like the swamp match was and the Firefly Funhouse match, but I do think it will have cinematic elements. With that being said, I do believe that the Fiend will win this because it's all about a circle, and we saw Bray tweeting about a circle. And so I think, the only way for this to be a circle is something's got to burn down for Randy Orton. I mean, it just has to. But I don't think it's a physical burn down. I think that's where a lot of people may be like, okay, well, what is the Fiend going to set on fire, Randy Orton's? I think it's going to be a psychological burning of Randy Orton. And I think that just kind of propels him into whatever he has with Edge. And, then we're off to the races there. And like Tazzy said, I think we pick this back up in the summertime and we go to the next chapter of this. And what's the next chapter of this? I believe Colt Leader Bray is the next chapter of this. And then we go through that, that chapter. And then we just keep adding layers. This is literally something that they could keep going for years because it's already been going for years. Mm-hmm. And everybody still wants it. It's something that, that we've been dreaming about and begging for, and now we've got it. And I just think that this is an opportunity for us to continue to add another layer to that story.
Absolutely. I agree. And yeah, it could continue. And it really, I mean, if this is the big one, right, it has to, because you can't just end it in a pay-per-view or two. And if this is really that, like if Randy is indeed the devil inside Bray's head, like he said he is, then it takes a while to get the devil out. So it could, this could absolutely go on and on. Matt Hendricks says Bray can lose without taking a pin. Also seeing a lot of comments saying that Alexa is quarantining. Some say that she was pulled from promotional material. Matt Hendricks said that. Maybe. It could very well be. I mean, maybe she won't be there. And maybe she comes back in January, maybe for the Rumble if they're going to have a match in January. So, very well could be. I mean, she's been gone for a while. People were saying she was working on something, a movie or something along those lines, and they had to quarantine after it was over, is the rumor. So, certainly can see. All right, Jodie, you're up.
Oh, gosh. So, what is a Firefly Inferno match? The last time that we had Bray in a match that started with the title Firefly was at WrestleMania in the Firefly Funhouse match. So I think we're going to see a lot of similar elements. I don't think it's going to be completely cinematic, but I do think there are going to be cinematic elements to it. Obviously, you know, if history tells us anything about Inferno matches, you win by setting your opponent on fire. So I think we're going to see a lot of fire for sure. But the Firefly aspect of this Inferno match, I think it's going to be similar storytelling to the WrestleMania match that he had with John Cena. But instead of, and I'm basing this off of two things: the tweet that Bray sent saying that it was all circle, and then today WWE posted like a history of the feud between Randy and Bray. So I think that's what this match is going to be about. It's not going to be about Randy's career, because the overarching theme of the Firefly Funhouse match was to show Cena, you know, he said, show who's the most overhyped person in WWE. So that was about showing him his career and how it could have gone if he would have turned when he told him to before. This is going to be about, we are going to revisit elements of this feud in the past that have been monumental for both of these characters. So I think we're going to see, you know, elements of the House of Horrors match. I think we're going to see elements of Randy burning down the compound. I think the Crucifix is going to come into it. If Alexa is there, she did post on Instagram today that she was on vacation. But if any of this is pre-taped, I think there definitely could be an element where she is dressed as Abigail, because Abigail was such a huge part of their feud before. So I think those are going to be the cinematic elements of this match. We're going to be revisiting different things about their feud. That's kind of my theory about that. And I think, you know, that would be a really interesting way to go about that, because, you know, you can bring those characters back again, like he did with the Swamp match. You can see Cult Leader Bray. You can see Eater of Worlds Bray. You can see Funhouse Bray. You can see the Fiend. I do think that we see Cult Leader Bray at some point. I apologize in advance because I will lose my mind if that happens. So that's kind of my theory about what this is going to be. It's going to be a culmination of their feud from the past, where it's been, where it's going. And I think ultimately it could end, if we're revisiting that era and that time when Randy set the compound on fire, maybe we could see something really cool and we revisit that site and he locks Randy in the barn and sets the barn on fire. I don't know. But it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I think the Fiend will emerge victorious, and we're going to get lots of very, very interesting elements that are going to make us sit there and go, huh. Because Bray's really good at that. So.
You're muted, Joe.
Thank you. I was muted. Woo! Yeah, no, you're right. I agree. I think it's going to be, look, it's going to be hard to follow this too, no matter which match is going to be the main event. It's going to be hard to follow something like this. It would have been like kind of trying to follow the Boneyard match with another match.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough. But Matt said Orton needs to win in order to continue, because if Fiend wins, why bother continuing? That's not true, because the Fiend is the Fiend. The Fiend beats Orton. Those, like Randy had said in a few weeks back, he's never faced the Fiend. So if the Fiend beats him, that's not necessarily the one guy who wants to revenge on him the most. That's the Fiend. That is not Cult Leader Bray. So yes, well, he did get a bit of revenge, but that's a completely different persona that's getting the revenge on Randy. That is not Bray. So yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's true. And I think that's why Cult Leader Bray is such an important part of this story, because
you know, for us fans, for us Bray fans, the person that hurt cult leader Bray the most was Randy. You know, everybody remembers that episode, you know, where he burned down the compound. I mean, it's monumental in their feud. So, you know, I definitely think that cult leader Bray returning is an important part of this storyline. And if Bray, you know, if it's continuing down this storyline that Bray's erasing moments of the past, you know, completing this circle and, you know, kind of rewriting history like he did with that cinematic match, I definitely think we could see something like that again too. Maybe he's trying to, you know, erase that moment where Randy took Abigail from him.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, certainly, you know, the minute he pulled out that crucifix from that trunk when he came into the funhouse, I mean, it was obvious that that there was something there. So why is everybody in the chat tonight talking about Ryback? You guys are crazy. Like, where the hell did Ryback come from? Where did Ryback come from? All
So
Ryback,
random.
look, guys, all Ryback's doing is doing eating challenges. That's all I ever see Ryback do online is do eating challenges and a lot of it. So, yeah, I really don't think Ryback is coming back anytime soon.
He said he would never come back. I think, but-
that is just not going to happen. Sonny says, what if cult leader Bray shows up at the end? Well, then Jodie's done. Jodie's absolutely done if that happens. Yeah, Jodie's done. Jason P says, good night. Good night, Jason. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So, well, there you go. There you go. That is TLC. You know, again, I think it's a, you know, I know we've been saying a lot of things about WWE on our show and you know, but I mean, look, kudos to them. It seems like they put together a really good card for a match or for a pay-per-view that's usually not top of the line. In the past, it has not been, you know, a spectacle, let's say. And it looks as if they really have done some, you know, bigger things for this. Obviously, Drew and AJ is big. You know, this Inferno match. It's the first one done in a while. Again, you know, another big match. Of course, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns is big. Carmella and Sasha. So they've really put a bunch of big matches here. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of filler from top to bottom. We even, you know, like I said, even the 2 tag team matches seem like they're going to be really enjoyable, really good matches. So James says TLC is going to be fire. Pun intended. Pun intended. Yes, it is. It is going to be fire. Someone's getting burned. That's how much fire it's going to be. So, yeah, it looks as if it's going to be a really fun pay-per-view. And that gets me to say, segue, why don't you come back and join us and watch it tomorrow? We will be here. What time, Jeff? 6:45, the usual? Okay, 6:45. 6:45 tomorrow night. Be here with, of course, Jodie and Tazzy. I will get back probably around 4:45. I'll get in probably by around 7:45. So I'll miss probably the first match or two, but I'll be in around then. But make sure you come tomorrow and make sure you join us for our watch along for TLC. You'll get to see reactions for all of this, and especially the Bray Wyatt match, which could be very, very, very interesting reactions. On video, by the way, for the first time. So, yeah. Yes. So, all right. Let's get through the rest of our schedule before we say goodnight to you guys for the evening. So, yes, we have TLC tomorrow, 6:45. Make sure you join us for the watch along. Like I said, I get it. There's a lot of other options out there, and by all means, go and join your other options. Go and listen to multiple things. Use multiple devices. But you know what? Stick us on that little tiny phone that you have over at the end of your table and just let it play. You never know. You never know. You just might like what you see. All right. Then we go Monday. Monday will be a huge Abby's window. It will be the follow-up to what we see tomorrow night. And as to where we are headed next, you won't want to miss that because obviously Jodie and Jeff will get you all the info you need and prepare you for what is coming next on Monday Night Raw? What will be the backlash of all of this stuff that happens on Sunday? On Tuesday, make sure you join Jeff, myself, and Tazzy. That is an Impact Awards show, and it already looks kind of interesting. They're going to award Wrestler of the Year for Impact. So right there, that's got me sucked in because I really want to find out who this is going to be. I want to find out who the awards are going to go to. So I think that's going to be a fun show. So join us for that. And then the rest of the week we're going to see, because obviously everybody's got, the holidays coming. We've got Christmas coming. Of course, next Thursday, man, that's insane for me to say that. It's Christmas Eve. So we won't have our normal podcast because obviously everybody spends time with their families and we wish everybody the best. And as I always say, happy holidays, but make sure you guys stay safe through the holidays. I know it's going to be a weird one for a lot of people, myself included. You can't get to see maybe a lot of the family that you would normally see or those big parties that you normally have. It's going to be a weird one. This whole year has been a weird one. But make sure if you don't see us from now until then, have a great, a safe and very, very happy holidays and a Merry Christmas from all of us to all of you. We hope we see you before then, but if we don't, make sure you get that message. I think Jeff and I might do a little something, and who knows, we might get the family together. We might do a little something, a little holidays special maybe, Jeff. A little holidays show we were discussing earlier today. What we'll do there is we'll just do a recorded show, so you can kind of listen at your leisure. No pressure, no premiere or anything like that. We'll just throw it out there. Maybe just do a little holidays thing, and we'll see. We'll figure out something to talk about, and we'll throw that together as well. So that's it, and then we will pick right back up the following week with all of our regular shows, and then get ready, man, for that huge month of January that is coming down.
We're talking about our New Year's party.
New Year. Oh yes, I can't forget New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's right. You can. Yes, yeah, that's right. You can come and spend that with us. We will have we'll have something. We will see what that's going to be. But yes, you can certainly join us for that as well. To kick 2020 in the ass and get it on out of here. It's time for 2020 to go. Yes, it is, Vince. It's time. Yes. Kiss it goodbye. Yes. All right, guys. So, yes, I hope you enjoyed our TLC preview special. And again, thank you to all who came tonight to spend it with us. We really appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us, as always. And we hope to see you for the walk-along tomorrow night at 6:45. I know I'm excited, and the rest of us are as well. So from myself, from the lower left square on your screen, Tazzy, from the lower right screen, Jodie, and from my co-host and the graphics guy, Mr. Jeff Watson, up in the top right-hand corner. Circle gets the square, everybody. We will see you all very soon. As I always say, stay safe. Take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for TLC. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you all soon. Peace out.